All right, so we are here for my first PT appointment. It took me about a week to get myself on the books just because of their schedule and everything. I don't know how much I can really film in the PT office, obviously, just because there's other people there. It's a medical office. So what I'm gonna do is cut to my gym and I'll show you the workouts that they've been teaching me and ultimately talk a little bit about the plan that they have me going through and what they think might be the problem. Hey, bud. Are you the PT dog? What are you doing here?
We made it back home and I realized after the session in PT, I don't really need to be in the gym just yet. There's no exercises that I did today. I got my little homework packet, but no exercises I did today that I really need any equipment for. So to start, I'm actually working on my left leg. I'm working on the tendon between my hamstring and the bone that it attaches to. Ultimately, the physical therapist agrees that it's a tendon issue. There really hasn't been any pain for me over the last 6 weeks since the Chicago Marathon. It's only been when I go and up the volume of running again, like the New York City Marathon. Once I get to about mile 8 or mile 10, that's when it starts to flare up. The other thing that we determined is I have a weak quad on my left leg. So if you put my legs side by side and you try and push on this leg, I'm a little bit stronger when trying to resist and push back up in this quad than with my left quad. So that's what we started working on. Ultimately, they think they want to strengthen my quad. Again, just balance out my whole lower body, make sure all the muscles are working well together in sync, balancing me out as I run. And that's the goal going forward. The goal is also to load the tendon, but not stretch the tendon. They don't want to aggravate it by doing any stretching of the tendon, so all the exercises are really focused on putting some weight and load on the tendon without aggravating it or straining it. The other good news is that they want me to begin running. They don't want me to cut running out of my day-to-day. They just want me to balance my routine, and for now I'll be able to start with about 2 to 4 mile runs, and I'll probably do some cross training, maybe elliptical, or just do some cycling as well. And let's dive into these actual PT workouts. So the first exercise that I did today was with a rope or a band. This is not a resistance band or one of those stretchy bands where you can do an exercise. This is actually just a dog leash that I'm showing you here, but any rope really will do. And the goal is just to stretch out the quad. So this was the first thing I did when I went in there, and I did hold for 10 seconds. And I did 10 sets of 10 seconds. So with the rope around my left foot, I pull the rope up over my body, and I'm just pulling on it just enough that I get a nice stretch in the quad. Again, that's that front portion of my upper leg. Just getting a good stretch in there, and again, 10 times 10 seconds per stretch. The next exercise works off of the same motion, but this time we got rid of the band, and all I was doing was picking my leg up. You just pull your leg as close as you can towards your butt, and really all you're doing is letting it release and resisting it from falling towards the ground. Again, loading up that tendon, but not necessarily straining it or stretching it in any way. So as I guide my leg down, I was doing about 3-second counts to let it fall towards flat, and then once it was flat, I'd pick it up again and do another rep. These reps, I was doing 3 sets of 10. So I would go up, down, 2, 3, 4. Up, down, 2, 3, 4. 10 times, 3 sets of those 10. The next workout is a little bit tricky. I was on my stomach, and essentially I'm lifting the leg almost like a reverse leg lift, telling me try not to rotate my hips at all. So I had to make sure that I was lifting my leg without letting my hips come off the table, come off the ground, or rotate in any way, and just get that motion to be a lift from the glute and from the back of my hamstring, pick it up, and again, just let the leg lower down to the ground about 3 seconds till it touched the floor. Again, this helps load that tendon in my hamstring without actually physically stretching it or putting any force into that tendon that would aggravate it. The next workout was just done on the side. Same thing, picked it up and let it back down slowly. I had a slight bend in the lower knee, so of my right leg. And for this session, I really only worked on the left leg. I'll probably do both on my own so I can balance everything out. But again, right leg bent slightly underneath me. I lift up towards the sky, out towards my side, pick it up and let it down 1, 2, 3, 3 sets of 10 on those as well. The next workout, I was back on my back, and essentially this one was kind of thrusting my hips towards the sky while on my back with my legs bent a little bit more than 90 degrees. One key movement was she really had me focus on, like moving my hips forward. I don't even know how to describe the motion. I don't know if I ever will know how to describe it well, but basically just to like shift my hips forward and really tighten my core, and then from there I would lift and push off the ground, really pushing through my heels, specifically through my heels on the ground, and just making sure to hold that position with my abdomen and hold trunk very tight. Hold that for about 3 seconds and then come back down. So this was 3 sets of 10, hold it for about 3 seconds while I was up in the air with the butt off the ground, and then just come back down. Next, again, I was strengthening my quads specifically, so I had one knee bent about 90 degrees, my right leg up on the table, laying on my flat back, and I would just pick up my leg. These more like traditional leg lifts, but one leg at a time. Now this next one, again, trying to focus on these quads, was more like the traditional leg lifts I was mentioning, but it was one leg at a time. So right leg was bent up, foot flat on the table, flat on the floor, and then the left leg was doing a single leg lift with my toes pulled towards my head or back towards my body, and I would pick the leg up and actually hold it for 10 seconds. I got a pretty good workout in there. I could start to feel it burning by the end. So you hold that leg 10 seconds in the air, and then I let it back down slowly, and I did 10 of those. Just one set this time, but 10-second hold, 10 of those total, one set, and that was that quad workout I did. That was sort of like a one-legged leg lift. The next workout I'll actually just show you here. Basically, I was seated up on the PT bench or table, so my legs would have been dangling, and all I was doing was I had a 2-pound ankle weight around my foot, and it was just a simple lift of the leg and put it back down. This was 3 sets of 10, very simple. Basically up, and then again, just guiding it down slowly, 1, 2, 3, up, guiding it down slowly, 1, 2, 3, 3 sets of 10. Now the final workout that I did today, again, I probably do actually need some equipment that I don't have available here in my home, but I needed some sort of box where I did a step up. And what I did was, if you can imagine that there's a box in front of me, actually, okay, so with the yoga mat as a little bit of a visual, basically what I was doing was stepping up onto a box, which you have to imagine this is lifted up off the ground, and then picked my other leg up and just held it and balanced there, step back down, step onto the box, pick up my leg, hold it, come back down, onto the box, pick up my leg, come back down. And I did 3 sets of 10, again, balancing in this position for about 3 seconds before I stepped back down. And that was it. That was the whole PT session for today. It was great. I liked the office there. I liked who I was working with. It wasn't too crowded or anything like that. And they did have that office dog, which it just belonged to one of the physical therapists, I think. The dog isn't always there, but it was really friendly, and I love dogs, so it was good to see him there. Most excited, of course, that they're saying I can get back to running, doing 2 to 4 miles if I want here and there, because I think the one thing runners hate the most is just being forced to stop running for any period of time. I feel like I'm detraining. My Garmin watch is telling me I'm detraining, and you know that sets off the alarm bells in, I think, any runner's head. So I'll definitely get back out there soon, start doing some more running vlogs very shortly, and obviously I'll continue to follow up with my PT and tell you how that's going. I'm hopeful. I really do think that at least for the half marathon in March, the New York City half marathon, I should be good to go for that, because I'm already doing, 8 to 10 miles is where the pain kicks in. So if I can strengthen everything up, I'm pretty confident that I can get through a half marathon in the spring. And then I think the big goal will be just continuing to strengthen, continuing to balance out my body, eat well, and just make sure I'm ready for a fall marathon, because I've got Berlin 2023 on the calendar, and I'd really like to go and run that race and run it well. It's exciting. I'm happy to share my PT with all of you. So thanks for watching. Again, the running will come back very soon. Until then, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.